And we're back with round two. We have Vihan Combrink against Anthony Hodgson. Mono Green against Blue White Skies. Not exactly a usual matchup. Players have started, so I'll switch over there now.
I believe Ian has taken a mulligan. Okay, maybe not. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Yeah, he's taking a mulligan. He's on the draw.
6 cards in hand.
And
Scant playing, or Anthony playing a very interesting deck.
Mono Green. Something we haven't seen in a particularly long time. Interesting card. He's playing Terrain Elemental, a 2-mana 3/2 vanilla, because it's a green card. That's about the only reason I can see him playing it.
But he follows it up with a Adonis. 3 mana 5/5.
Not turned on at the moment, but 3 mana 5/5 Death Touch. Not that Death Touch is any relevant with a 5/5 body.
And it seems that like Vian has no blue mana. So usually the payoff card for Vian is
Favorable wins, I believe. And
basic.
Scant playing Prowling Serpapod. His creatures can't be countered. It does turn on Ronus. Ronus is now active as a 5/5 indestructible Death Touch creature.
So he swung for 8 and
The
3
turn before he swung for 3, so Vian's already on 9.
and he just passes the turn.
Unfortunately, Vian missing land drops. And this seems to be a pretty fast game here.
Anthony does play a few tricks.
And
Blossoming
just jump
Defense.
blocking. He's gonna pump
He's just
Serpapod, deal 9. That is game. Straight up.
turn 4.
4
So
turn, well, turn
to
5. 5 turns, dead. They're going to sideboarding now. We'll switch back to like deck lists. So, in this match, okay, I'll just need to update that deck list. The deck list on the opposite side.
I don't know if Anthony knows that Vian's playing Blue White Skies.
It could just be blue or mono white tokens at that point, or the blue white heroic deck, effectively.
Well, Anthony plays quite a bit of Magic Online. Blue White Skies is there. So maybe he knows to bring in the naturalizers. Because I don't see a 1/1 vampire that pumps other flying creatures.
No, he played it in the previous game.
No, but
The Duskmoon Sky Marcher taps to give another vampire +1/+1.
so that's usually in the Blue White Skies deck. So if Anthony can pick that up, maybe he brings in the naturalizers.
Yeah. Vienna has a surprisingly large amount of enchantments, 18.
It says he has 5 ops and 5 spell pierces. I'm sure that's incorrect.
That seems to be a error.
30, 48.
Okay, I actually think. Yeah, no, that's definitely an error.
Yeah.
He has 3 ops main board and 1 opt sideboard.
Do you think Anthony actually sideboards in anything if he doesn't pick it up as Blue White Skies?
I think it's a safe bet to side in Sky Sovereign.
Sure.
It's just a pretty powerful card. It flies. It kills all of his opponent's creatures that looked like that.
What do you think of Key to the City?
Key to the City is good when the ground gets gummed up. It doesn't look that Vian's creatures are going to be big enough to deal with Anthony's creatures at this point. So not exactly a match where you want that. They do look about they need to start again.
2 quick mulligans. 2 quick sideboards. Scan thinking about mulliganing?
Yeah, he's definitely going to mull that. And Vian came into this match just wanting to play the event more than having a standard deck he wanted to play. So he just had to build it from what he had. The Blue Eyed Skies deck relatively cheap, but Scan's deck's also not exactly expensive, and I think it does get a lot better with Dominators release in the next month. Reprint of Llanowar Elves gives him a turn 1 play that ramps him into a turn 3 play, and then the new 3 mana 5/4.
So he's gonna have possibly a Adonis on turn 2 into a 5/4 on
Attack
turn
for
3.
5.
Seems quite good.
Could even be Nona's turn 2 into Galta turn 3 effectively. Because he
Scant
could
going down
play.
to 5. I don't think he saw a land in that 6. How many lands does Scant
I believe he plays
play?
20. Oh no, 23. Of which 10 are deserts. Arch of Araska not a desert, but does draw him cards. Pretty useful card. His opponent, I believe, only has 20 lands.
I think it's 19.
Or 19.
Vihan's curve is usually, I think, ends at 3. But I believe he plays Angel Invention, so maybe it goes higher.
Oh yeah, his curve ends at 3 normally and then 5 for Angel of Invention. Starts with Island. Now Scan should be aware that his opponent is on Blue-White Skies or the Blue-White heroic deck. And there we see an interesting card. It's a 2-mana 2/1 flying that when it attacks your opponent's creature becomes a 0/1 and loses all abilities.
Oh. Larger than life.
Explores larger than life, puts it into the graveyard.
It seems like Anthony is looking for extra
He's looking for a land.
land, yes.
Only has 2/1 of which is going to deal him damage every single turn.
Though he has the Rishkar in hand, so if he hits another land, his creatures become mana rocks.
Effectively. He does seem to have missed the land off this turn though. Draws into a 2-drop 3/2. This might be considering attacking into this 3-mana 2/3 flying
Does he have
vigilance
another Branch Walker?
lifelink. Is another Branch Walker. Is probably going to burn that Serper pod. I think you should attack into the 2/3. You're not blocking your opponent's creatures anyway. Vihan just takes the 3 because he knows he's going to gain 2 the next turn.
Do you know if Anthony plays any reach based creatures?
I don't think he has any reach creatures in his deck actually. I was surprised he didn't have Plummet in his sideboard. And then we see another 2/3 flying vigilance lifelink. These are going to be really hard for Scan to deal with. Because each turn he's effectively swinging for a 4-point life swing with 1 creature.
Oh, you see the third land. So if Anthony plays
Rishkar, he can have 2 4-power creatures.
as well as play another.
I think he's just gonna attack here, attack for 8. That needs to try and switch the ignition around here. Vihan's definitely gonna take it going down to 11. If Vihan gets a favorable wins, it's gonna be pretty hard for Anthony to come back.
So with a larger than life, if let's say Anthony has larger than life, do you think he has a possible win
The
next turn?
It's a possibility. Unfortunately, his opponent's gonna go up to 15 this turn at the very least.
So 8 plus 5 is 13 plus 2 is 15. There is a possible.
And the issue with if Anthony does have a creature with reach, his opponent can just turn it into a 0/1 with losing all abilities and be unable to block anyway. So Scan going down to 6, he will probably die the next turn if he doesn't draw anything spectacular. His opponent going up to 15. And unfortunately, he just hasn't drawn it. He's drawn into a basic. Attacks with everything, sees if his opponent blocks. You need to make your opponent have it here.
Well, usually if you see 10 coming at you, you want to block.
He can just jump block with his 2/1 though. Vihan's
Okay.
just taking it. Going down to 10. Or going down by 10 to 5.
And
He untaps,
swings for the win.
swings with team, and that's game. Pretty quick 2 games here. Didn't expect this to go quite that fast to the Blue-Eyed Flyers deck, but as we saw, Anthony unable to do anything about his opponent's Flyers and missing land drops. Going back to deck lists, since we didn't actually get a chance to discuss them, opponents were both players a bit too fast in sideboarding. Please bear in mind that those yeah, it looks like way too many cards in this.
We're at the moment on 79 cards
Just about.
and no sideboard. So
Just gonna
I'm
update the deck list to see what fixes it.
So do you think can Anthony takes out the owner's monuments and brings in Sky Sovereigns? It seems like it's a very good card.
I think Sky Sovereign is pretty powerful in this matchup. I also think Naturalize is powerful, although Scant hasn't actually seen any enchantments from his opponent's side.
Yes.
So he still might not side that in. I don't think Blossoming Defense is particularly good in this matchup. And Larger Than Life may be a tad bit slow. So I think it's between Ronus Monument and Blossoming Defense or Larger Than Life. Then on the Sky's side, pretty sure that his opponent will be siding in removal spells.
So you take out the spell pierces, bringing cost out.
Yeah, cast out Excellence Binding, that type of effect. Probably lose an opt as well, maybe.
What do you think of Sky's Devotion?
Sky's Devotion giving lifelink is pretty relevant actually. It could be a card you can side in,
So
but you'd probably have to side out one of your other
it seems
enchantment
like they
effects.
finish sideboarding. Vihan's on the mulligan, down to 6. He had a hand without any lands. I think 19 lands with a deck that plays 5 drops.
It's a bit ambitious, to say the least. Scan goes tap land, go. His opponent leads with Plains Creature, Flyer as per all of his creatures. And plays a 3-2 on Scan side. 2 mana 3-2, pretty useful in standard. Unexpected almost.
So
His opponent's going to opt here, probably going to look for. Don't think he wants another land.
I think he's looking for a plains, but he has the Glacial Fortress.
There's a tax for 1. He knows he's not blocking. And Scan's gonna have quite a turn. He's probably gonna end up going Ronus. Okay, sure, he's going Nishkop because next turn he gets to have 5 mana at the least. Which could be Verdida Skelk.
And he swings in for a good 4 damage.
Luminous Bonds.
Well,
That 4 power creature cannot attack, block, or use activated abilities?
and activated abilities.
Pretty sure it's activated abilities as well. Let's just see if we can.
And then he plays 2 mana. Let's have a Naturalize. Larger Than Life.
Ooh, Larger Than Life on the
Into a
Nishkop.
Coulter.
Into Galta. Attack for 7.
Down to 9.
That is powerful.
So it shouldn't have activated abilities if we tapped it for mana.
I think non-mana activated abilities. So, but okay, it could just be a one attack or block.
I don't see anything blocking the 12-12.
And I don't see another way to deal with the creature in his hand, unfortunately. So I think this is just game here.
So if Anthony has a land next turn, he has Ronus. Does Ronus give Death Touch when it's on the plus?
No, only gives trample. But +2 plus own trample should be good enough.
Yes.
His opponent only has. No, his opponent seems to be dead on board here.
He got a 2-3 and a 1-1.
Oh, sure, I did get a +1 encounter from that.
Well, that's still 9 damage. No, he's dead on board.
Unfortunately, Anthony has Verdida Skelk in hand, which is going to go all on the Galta.
16
points.
with trample.
Double block.
And that's a good game. Well done to Anthony.
And went sort of as we expected it to go. That was pretty scary. I don't think a lot of decks could be able to deal with Galta on turn 4.
I think Anthony believes Galt is the best card in standard.
Yeah, he Eh, I wouldn't say it's the best card in standard. It is very powerful. In my opinion, I think the Scarab God is still the best card in standard.
Well, in Anthony's hands, Galta seems very good.
Yep, Anthony does like his aggressive decks, but yep, that was pretty quick. We will see you guys for round 3.